Grind or not to grind? That isn't even a question. I know I have to. Anyway, hello. Good morning, good night, or good afternoon. Or even good riddance, depending on if you read the contract. Yeah, I still need to get used to that line. And welcome back to more Limbus Company. So the last time we were here, I had significantly less lunacy, right? And then, I didn't have an uptie for Hey Show Pack Otis. So you might be wondering, what's happened? Over 15 mirror dungeons would be your answer. Yeah, I believe the number is 18 right now. And, I have claimed about half of the rewards. So, you know, that's good. Don't really care for these, but I may as well go for the banners. But that's going to be a side project, more so. I'm not going to waste your time with that. Probably. I don't know, it's pretty fun to put together a really messed up. And anyway, there have been quite a few evolutions of the team. Talisman Sinclair. God, Talisman. So, these two? Yeah. We have Talisman Sinclair uptied enough to have the support passive online. And, the rest of the IDs sure do exist. Not like it's gonna matter right now, because apparently it's story first. Anyway. For 12 Whirls of Agony, the sinners were all back in one piece. Massacre must have been humbling, because it feels rather strange seeing them this quiet. How's life been, Red Gaze? You rarely had a chance to meet in recent times. Haven't shown up to the League of Excellent Nest-Dwelling Fixers lately either. You unable to read the dozens of invitations I sent to you. Changed addresses, and I don't have time to lick top brass boots like you're doing. I don't know what happened between these two, but Vergilius is a bit hostile here, right? There is a disposition between them is rather clear, isn't it, Dante? In what ways? The only blood measure Siegfried can be described as a pro-wing fixer based on the views he's expressed. Yep, Guide Vergilius sought independence as a fixer. Be that a fixer loses sight of their core principles the moment they become subordinate to an influential entity. Someone who is strict towards those with power, after all. Speaking with Faust, I saw Don Quixote quake and approach Siegfried with shaky hands. An honor to see him, even after being mincemeat by his hands mere moments ago. Fan I am. I've collected figurines sculpted after you, though I've yet to get my hand on limited editions. I set my heart on becoming a magnificent fixer such as you. An inspiring fixer. Little time to spare, but more than enough for an autograph. That's true, then you send an autograph here. Low breath stuck, Quixote. Attention. Code purple dismissed. Code purple dismissed. All codes cleared. Huzzah, that's a job done well. Now then, until next we meet. Ha 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 ha. Being with tremendous force, Siegfried vanished into the air. Though there was a small delay, we did get the travel permit in the end. He just turned to the bus in the meantime, or perhaps he only got off knowing that we were running into Siegfried. Rather upset as he walked away, but no one else seemed to care that much. This is the surrounding frigidness. Don Quixote was happy as a clam, caressing the sheet of paper autographed by Siegfried. Caught in a dream, manager Squire, you pinched my cheek just once. I'm about to give the blissful Don Quixote a word while we walked out of the border checkpoint. An armed vehicle stopped before us. We found foe, bold as the challenge us right in front of a nest checkpoint. This vehicle is from LCC, the clearance department. fast plain reply that the vehicle store is open. Jeez, what took you so long? We had to cycle 3 laps waiting for it to be over. A couple of familiar faces appeared out of the car. Effie and Zod. Even their outfits had changed, their faces were greased just as much confidence. Even though their outfits had changed, their faces were greased with just as much confidence and poise. Oh, people from the war team, eh? Something about you looks different, I've gotta say. Because of the disguise we had in order to infiltrate the casino, it was ultimately worthless, though. So they got that sharp tongue, too, huh? Just ached a little at the thought of a harmonious cacophony that was our last operation. Sod, you see that hand on the clock trembling? You'll make them cry. Just being playful. While you had much room for improvement in regards to skill, I've made my mind to admit the LCB department has its own character. By the right path we took, it looked like we did leave a positive impression on them, too. Fortunately, it was supposed to be on site at this hour, wasn't it? Others should be there already. We just had to wait for you because we had useful intel to share. In any case, you cared about us, right? We do have a couple of new fans. We have a couple of new fans knee-deep in our charm. You know, something like the sort of food that's cooked from gassy ingredients and the result is a pleasant surprise. Yep, had a lot of that on the battlefield, miserable to swallow, but so memorable. And food have you two been eating? By the way, what's the intel you're going to share with us? Our target location. It seems another faction has occupied the place already. We had more manpower than usual as a result. I bet there are yet another swarm of gadflies attracted by opportunity. As I just pointed out, we weren't new in encounters against a group of foes drawn near the Golden Bows. Our first mission, straggling a soldier from G Corp, took shelter in the abandoned facility. In our second, a variety of gangs inhabited the casino. Fortunately, our opponents this time will beat some crummy no-names like before. They took beat of the immigration inspection records found that N Corp dispatched Legion of employees a few weeks ago. Their destination is ours, too. From N Corp. It wasn't an officially disclosed activity, seeing that K Corp has something past me, so they might have made a deal under the table. Which, if it's true that N Corp has sent this out in advance, then this journey won't be a smooth one. I see. We're worried we might make enemies of several wings as we go on. Long-term, conflicts with the wings will be an unavoidable step in the process. Judging from the fact that N Corp hasn't made this motion officially known, it could end as a simple conflict of interest. Furthermore, and discount the possibility it's not the Golden Bow they're after. Then change that we're convenient pawns for our higher-ups we throw around either way. Alright, I heard some morons causing a scene at the K-Corp checkpoint. You guys see who they were? The rumor showed such haste, 'twas as though Treasure Shinante. Don Quixote held her head hostily in embarrassment. She's finally starting to learn that reckless actions have repercussions. That or a mistaken, and she's glad that more people know what she's done. Jay missed it. That's not the kind of spectacle you see every day. Really, who in the right mind goes to the wing of the border checkpoint unless it had lives to spare? Please don't tell me. Come on, we don't have much time, so we should get going. Mr. Vergilius nowhere to be seen again. Oh, him? He went back to the bus first. Pity, I didn't want to actually miss my chance to say hello. An impression on him next time, mark my words. Then ask if we enjoy the team in your stead. But that's the reason you wanted to meet him? It wasn't entirely a joke. See you at the site then. Get there in one piece anyway. Yeah. Effie and Sod are very great characters. Also, I know riveting content. I'm really tired today, but you know. Heading Karan and the cold stare of Vergilius awaited us on the bus. It was heavy with a sense of oppression, leaving little room for lighthearted jokes. You're late. Karan counted to 100 and you still didn't come. Karan? You have a few more words ready to be flung in that icy tone, but Vergilius put a hand on her shoulder and gave her a glance. Berg, Karan will remember this. Sorry about that. I'll buy you something sweet later. Karan sat and let her ever seat without further complaint, and Vergilius slowly turned to us. Although the Sarah and I were all good at it, be sensing imminent danger in making way. Dispersing in a group, we scuttled away in our seats, leaving only Don Quixote anxiously standing in the aisle of the bus. So your excuse, Don Quixote. I could not turn up all blind-eyed to the weak being persecuted. No, wrong. I couldn't follow what happened in that instant. I have nothing to blink, so it shouldn't have been possible for me to miss a moment, and yet... Yeah. I caught up with the situation. First thing that came to my sight was Don Quixote brought to the ground, shoulder trampled on Virgilius' shoe. Just... yeah. As for an excuse, not a justification of your views. Then the first time either, Don Quixote. Were 3 separate incidents already. 3 separate times you jeopardized our work with your deranged behavior. What do you think? Speak. Well, my own actions did inconvenience my colleagues. Yeah. Not a good sound. Lol. Yeah. Don Quixote's pain groan grew louder, but no one stepped in. Of course, he was being punished for her own actions. With anything, it was evident that disrupting this wasn't going to make the situation better. If anything, if we stepped in, we'd get our asses beat. I'm asking for your thoughts. Why do you not understand this? I was speaking only to be interrupted. You should have said to me at the get-go was an apology, Don Quixote. The thing you'd add should be an elaboration on how you plan to improve your conduct. Not just, thou art demanding a specific answer out of me. Don't you know? The company already has the correct answers for its employees. The questions are only asked to see if you can get it right. That's so true, actually. Totally mistaken if you believe the company is sincerely curious about your input. If the company insists, though, then I'm sick of this. He just kicked Don Quixote, tossing her to the floor, then gripping her ball by the collar. This is like... I get it's for intimidation, but is it just me, or is this way less intimidating than the previous shot? Like, you have the previous shot, which is genuinely kind of has that sense of, oh shit. And then there's this, right? Dawn is sweating, sure. But it seems like she's like, is it just me, or is this the face you put on if it, like, what's something funny that I can say? I'm having to brainstorm here. This is the face you'd put on when, I don't know, you see that your favorite flavor of ice cream was put on a rotation. Like, it doesn't feel like it's... Dawn does not seem all that affected. More so with the way the brows look, and the fact that this looks like gritted teeth behind the mouth, anyway. This just looks like she's about to headbutt Virgilius. And meanwhile, Virgilius, I'm gonna be honest, that vein does not... It just looks like he's, like, it looks like he's shitting himself. I had to say it. It looks like he's shitting himself. So, like, Doesn't it? Yeah, it looks like he's shitting himself and Dawn is being forced to watch. I'm sure you remember what went down when you joined. I hope you haven't forgotten the deal we struck that day, Miss Don Quixote. His eyes glistened with much brighter hue of red than usual. We know about that deal now. Heading directly into it, Don Quixote soon gave back the nod without another word. That's all. Back to your seat. I mean, considering what Virgilius said about the eyes of a higher kindred, or something like that. Something along those lines. Yeah. Dawn probably would canonically have a lot of... just be unable to fight against those eyes. While someone who usually exuded pride and confidence swiftly shift to a discouraged, crestfallen state didn't exactly make for a pleasant sight. Even the silly girl decides to... I'm really off my game today. The deal that got Don Quixote to go silent by simply bringing it up makes me wonder what it was about. Same goes with the rest of you. Companies on a platform for selling egocentric dreams or preaching big ideas. To still go against the term of your employment contract to act unprompted, consider the consequences before you do. In a grueling period of being unable to escape, not through death nor struggles of severance.
그래도 저 양반 아이고 뭐더라?
Yes, getting help from that guy. Who was that again? Mr. Zach Fritcher or something must have ruffled his feathers. It's Lord Siegfried. Jeez, the mission hasn't even started. We get all your scolding. Have some tact before you act, okay? I knew the day would come sooner or later. We should all be more careful from now on. Two birds gawking at me, looking to get stoned. Finally got it, Tisk. I really need to stop immediately putting all of the things in the modules. It's a bad habit. Anyway. Go incredibly cursed rupture team. Right, I actually need to level you up first. Just, real quick. You know. Actually, it's that. Like, edit. Talisman Sinclair. Alright. Get him. Even more reading, I swear to God. When conflict sorted out, the bus finally departed. At the windows evoked a strange feeling in the passengers. Check out those people, they look like they haven't a care in the world. Way different from the roads we've been through. I guess it was our manager bus first traveling in the middle of a nest. World of difference between the nest and the back streets, besides each nest has its own cultural heritage. Attention all. The destination is new. It's the town of Cal. Misspelled Claw. I'm just gonna call it that all the time. Situated in SK. Investigation revealed that a passage connected to a lobotomy corporation exists somewhere in that village. The twink is baffled. Because the name misspelled Claw was mentioned, Sinclair lapsed into fear once again and started trembling. As if something were coming after him. It'd just be like, I have my whole life ahead of me. No you don't, Kromer is coming. But as you have told me, a third party has occupied the area surrounding that branch facility. That's why it requested an additional recon operation from clearance. The observation unit 3 from the before team has been dispatched. Miss Effie and Miss Sod should be with them by now. See a report from them once they get a good grasp of the situation. Afterward, the bus entered a quiet woodland path leading to the village. Lush green trees are found in the back streets again to decorate the scene, providing a comforting sight, but was soon disturbed by something hot. An ominous bill of smoke rise in the distance. Why is the smoke coming from Sinclair? They're on turn. Base remover. Rumble tumble. Then a sharp turn to the left. Shortly before, a giant nail flew in and noisily embedded itself in the back window. Who the hell was that? I almost kicked it. Yeah, I hadn't run a test with a projectile velocity. Suggests the windows need to be reinforced a little. Aimed directly at us, and the faction with 4 team warned about us. Us about the employees of N-Corp. Rick, Methy got hurt. Caron's sad. Looks like they'll stop anytime soon. Off the bus, all. We got off the bus, a group stood in the way, clad from head to toe in rusty armor with faded coats of white. Oh, you may not use this road. Said so in the first place, because what are our windshield? Ah, bugger. Rather rude for someone who attacked without warning. Is it a common courtesy to state your affiliations? We're Inquisitors. We are the nail that faces the blasphemous and the hammer that strikes down the sinful. So, N-Corp. That's one convoluted way to sell someone your employee of Nagel and Hammer, also known as Nail and Hammer. Not proceed as we are in the midst of cleansing heretical dissidents. Heretics? Hey, now we just want to pass through, not clearing each other. We're on the tour. That's right, it's the tour bus. The tour solved the sudden, the sinners exchanged look in silence. In another disastrous first impression, Jared was doing what he could, even though his efforts fell flat for the most part, to gently appease the armor crowd. By attempting the kind, harmless smile a tourist should wear. I've been thinking about this since the job at the mine, but are you into these kinds of bits? Not exactly it. Going corners of the mouth around pity in my heart. In that case, you shall prove yourselves to be untainted. Why, tell us how to get on with it. Further suddenly pointed in my direction. Behead that blasphemous traveler. But me? Kneel before our hammers, you consecrate their head to us. Doesn't prove that you are untainted ones, and your journey shall continue without hindrance. You will, of course, have to part with the defiled vehicle as well. No, don't you blokes? Oh, I don't know who you are, but we do look daft enough to do as you say. Here's Heathcliff was the first of playing as a harmless tourist. Heathcliff, you didn't have to. Our trifling twits. Tish, who are you telling me to kneel? Wither, as was declared to us, nodded in response. Understood. I declare all of you to be heretics. That the group of Inquisitors moved into position at once, ready to attack. Really just, if you refuse to bow, I will break your knees and make you bow. Also, I feel bad for these guys. They do not know what a power talisman is. Or power guard. Power counter. I'm really smart, chat, trust.
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여버려. 좀 이항에 맞추려면 그게 제격이지.
시동 걸어볼까? 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이 나는군. 일 처리는 빠르게 하는 편이 덜 답답한 법이지.
I may as well just let it rip.
숨통 끊기.
전투가
불쌍하게 울고
수감자가 되어
불쌍하게 울고 끝내지.
이제 그 도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만 고치면 딱 좋겠어. 4번 수감자.
I feel really bad. That's 2 cursed Rit Butcher blades coming at this one guy. Oh my god. I feel horrible, man. They do not know.
끝내지.
좋아, 이번에는 제대로 들어갔고.
그림자가 그들을 덮었습니다. 청소부가 다녀가고 날이 밝으면 죽은 자의 흔적을 찾으려는 자들이
We get it, Otis.
뒤따르죠.
We get it. Getting back on the bus, Vergilius greets us by casually lifting a hand.
이번엔 상대하기
Play a
전
little trickier to deal with than your usual foes.
누누이
Yep,
말하는
keep saying what you've done with them a lot faster if you lend a hand.
나도 넌
They always answer, there won't be any point to this if I help you.
저자들 우리더러 이단 신봉자라고 했어요.
Those people, they labeled us as heretics. This was their judgment based on. I think they were targeting me.
못과 망치
Nagel and Hammer, weighing the best experience above all else. Ursult muttered vaguely. Experience?
인간은 자신의 가치
Humans are made to have
경험과 행동을 할
experiences
수
and
있도록
actions
정해져
appropriate
있다.
for their worth.
그들은
That is what they say of it.
그렇게
그것들
Let's offer up the severed head of our manager.
좋다는 건
That means they're back. They didn't forget. Coming back like that, Sinclair is almost having a fit at this point. Roger looked at them with pitying eyes, but there's little she could do about it. Verg, the sound box is being noisy. Nosy or noisy? Looks like the advanced team has words for us. This is... Saw it is... Give me that. Effie, this is the boss. How are things over there? You'll bear here your every sin and be purified. Effie? That Effie's voice is something else. No, actually, was that even a human voice at all? Whistles.
싱클레어.
Sinclair, what are you talking about? Good whistles right at the end, faintly. Was there now? Well, we can check.
에피? 그 자식이 온 거야.
Sir, that wretch is there. After all this time, destroyed the rest of our town. Calm down, Sinclair. What do you mean by risk whistles? Who is this wretched woman?
기다리고 있는 거예요.
Waiting for me. That was a message calling for me. Dreadful tears are streaming down Sinclair's face as he rambled. Look, Sinclair, it's not all about you, okay? It's not all about you. Calm down. Kromer is here to nail heretics. That doesn't mean she has to nail you. Calm down.
잠깐만요.
Hang on, there are people like the ones we met on the road up ahead. We should go back. What? You just head back? I don't want to go. Let's just turn around, tip the steering wheel, and...
돌아가요 제발. 이제라도 운전대를 돌려서.
Sinclair? Shut the fuck up.
꼬맹이.
You know, what's wrong? What are you so worried to walk into?
가면 안 돼.
Go, well, I'll die. We need to go back.
에밀 싱클레어.
Camille Sinclair. Don't be absurd. Otis was calmly freaking her
잠깐
wrist.
기절할
Light
정도로
blow to the stomach knocked out
왜
unconscious for a
죽여갈
short while, nothing more.
이번엔 박자가
An agreement for once, it
맞았군.
seems. I was this close to stepping in.
갑자기들은
No need
전쟁이
cowards on
필요
my
없으니까.
battlefield. Can I throw him out of the bus? That might be a bit too far.
관리자님께서
Say so,
그렇게
manager. Let's look down at Sinclair with a displeased face. Execute cowards. Anyway, even though he's timid sort, he's never opposed something so strongly until now. Unprecedented behavior of his bothered me. I know I couldn't bring myself to ask him why. He didn't seem in any state to tell me. Soon enough, Sinclair came back to his senses, stared at the window with vacant eyes. Others are all out fighting. Sorry, I'll go join them. Can't keep dragging others down. We get it, Sinclair. We get it, Sinclair. Anyway,
있고 부드럽게 잡히는 푹신.
I still feel bad for these people.
이런 푹신한 날엔 안 풀리는 일이야.
뒷박질 춤
What do you mean I lost that?
반쯤 죽여버려. 13조 이상에 맞추려면 그게
끝내지.
제격이지.
What do you mean I lost that? One-sided guard, alright.
그대로 멈춰라.
가치 없
전투가 그래
할만하네.
수감자가 되어
좋아.
훌륭하게
이번에는 제대로 들어가.
이제
끝내지.
그 도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만 고치면 딱 좋겠어. 4번 수감자.
Yeah, that works. And then, more talisman.
뒷박질 춤
Sure. But it's not good here because
그런 맛이 나는
they all die too quickly for me to even apply rupture.
답답한 법이지.
어제 톱날을 열심히
Anyway.
보라면
밖에서 맡고 있는 꼴을 보니
Oh,
그다지
Talisman
좋지
Sinclair's,
관리자, 수감자를 무방비하게
Oh.
만들지 마십시오.
Sir, you are dead. I hate to inform you, but,
태어내리.
yeah,
숨통 끊기.
goodbye.
가치 없군. 죽어.
I love the new event IDs.
끝내지. 끝내지.
They're very funny. Well, not exactly funny, more so they feel nice to just slam into the enemy at full force and full speed. But, you know, close enough. Ah, just another fight. Alright, let's see.
정한 데에는 합당한 이유가 있겠지.
Those are 2 blink
기대하고
steps, I
있겠습니다.
think.
단테.
So that means I'm just gonna... Yep, power counter.
시동 걸어볼까?
딱 반쯤 죽여버렸군. 13만 이상에 맞추려면 그게 제격이지.
Ready kill as written. I guess I'll gut you with a cursed engraved blade, or whatever it's called.
더 처리할 먹잇감이 있나?
Oh, I actually got it right.
시동 걸어볼까?
Sick.
수감자가 되어도 훌륭하긴 하군.
Well,
이제 도통 알아들을 수 없는 말
and recycle coin.
좋겠어.
Dead.
그간의 전투 경험이 적고가 없진 않았군요. 단테. 적합한 조치였습니다.
Oh, that's 2 curse rip butcher blades. I see. Well,
시시게.
그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이
got him.
처리는 빠르게
숨통
하는
끊기.
덜 답답한 법이지.
불쌍하게 여기지.
And then, dub?
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어갔군.
Talisman Sinclair, you had 1 job.
제가
One
필요한 것들을 사들고
job.
있는 것이 아닙니다.
Anyway.
걸어볼까?
이런 무수적인 효과가 기대했었죠.
First Rit, Butcher Blade. Kill up.
끝내지. 가치 없군. 죽어라.
There goes Dimensional Rift.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐고. 다음 먹잇감도 이런
에이.
식이었으면 좋.
뒤따르죠.
Man, I really am tired, huh? It's been 30 minutes and it feels like it's been 2 hours. Smoke that was faintly visible through the bus windows covered the whole town. What a mess this is, huh? By the way, don't you hear a familiar song from somewhere? Yeah, I know this one. Used to hear a tune an awful lot on snowy days. Hit a bunch during wartime to raise our spirits, the exact opposite for me. Song evoked various memories in the group. For me, I'm not sure. It's definitely familiar, but it doesn't bring up any clear images in my head. I can still feel a faint splash of feeling from deep in my heart. I knew this song before I lost my memory. Mist of emotion runs inside me, though. It doesn't feel precious and warm. An ache. Inexplicable sting is what I felt. This is Dante lore, by the way. Christmas invokes an inexplicable sting.
맞아요.
Right, that day. Snowy like this, and that song was playing.
노래가 들리다.
Trees before were decorated with grim ornaments. Also, internal organs and mechanical parts are hung from the branches, and someone put someone's innards on full display. Ugh, isn't this going too far? A classic, but more kitschy than anything. Ryoshu considers this a classic.
방에 생존자는
There are no survivors nearby. Then everything finally fell into place. It's just like, mic test, mic test. Piercing sound caused the group to cover their ears. Doing this here Noel, everyone? The night isn't really silent, but it sure is holy. Isn't Christmas still a fair way off? Getting it right, it's not anytime soon. My name is Kromer. I'm a humanitarian who loves purity, and the one who grips the hammer. Which, it's like, it's a cool title, The One Who Grips, but considering we no diff her, is she really even that important? Anyway, I don't know how you managed to get here, but you're trespassing on private property. As you can see, this hallowed ground is undergoing or nailing judgment. I hope you like the decorations I set up. Well, let's just say you got lost. Turn back now and the fine will be all you have to pay. Feeling generous. Today's the nativity, after all. Oh, but by that, is Guido there? Here I stand. Hi, Guido. Good, just in case. You see any heretics over there? That's what naming Guido, who responded her turns to us. He intently stares into each of us until his eyes fall upon me. He gazes at me for a very long time. Though he's wearing a mask, those eyes of his. They froze us completely still as his glare nailed us to the ground. The impure one and their followers. And with them, the child you spoke of. Really? My Sinclair is back. Come see me, Sinclair. I'll be waiting at that familiar spot. Kromer. You hear Sinclair grinding and gnashing his teeth. A dreadful noise. I couldn't be sure if it was from hatred or fear. Get the rest out, Guido, or should I myself? I wouldn't mind. Heard you focus on hammering the impure, one who grips. Good. Let's keep up the purification. Now, everyone, Merry Christmas! Number of Inquisitors gathered around Guido. Stands firm behind them. He's not making any movement, but his presence is threatening enough. Tense aura of hostility is radiating straight from him. Racism. But like, it's peak instead of being, racism.
이런 푹신한 날에 안 풀리는 일이 없지.
Suppose there is a form of racism that's peak. Anyway.
딱 반쯤 죽여버렸고.
We're losing a few clashes, but like,
그게 제격이지.
I blame RSP. Really? What? Wow, you had a chance and you just decided to not roll a single heads, man. What? Is there something I said? This is the one form of peak racism. I don't see what the problem is here, man. I'm right. It's probably the one form of racism literally anyone would cheer for. I'm not wrong. You know? I'm not gonna be able to hit the rupturing talisman right, so I'm just gonna pop it now. Losing the end corp. I'm not losing. I'm just getting really unlucky considering that was a 33 sanity tails roll on the power counter. You know? It's just an issue of luck not being on my side. That's all it is.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가.
Anyway.
그래, 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이 나는군.
First rip butcher blade. I really wish that was on the counter, but apparently not. Oh well. Skeleton resonance. But at least this guy's dead now. He is not surviving.
그간의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없지.
불쌍하게 울부짖는군.
단테.
And that Inquisitor's on 1 health now. See? We're fine. They just decided to get a few too many heads. And that was it, and it was bad for like a few seconds, that's all. We're fine.
끝내지. 끝내지.
어제 톱날을 열심히 손본 보람이 있네.
골치 아픈
Hi, Gito.
고기 조각이
Anyway, I'll got you. Blink step.
나쁘지 않은 수가 있네.
Unopposed attacks, you say. Yeah, I'll perforating kill. I have 19 charge, Dimensional Rift, Energy Cycle, Proliferating Talismans, Grind 'em, and Grease Chains. Sure.
박질 준비.
Anyway, you're dead.
숨통 끊기.
Die.
거쳐.
전투 감각 하나만 수감자가 되어도 훌륭하고 이제 그 도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만
나
고치면
참.
딱 좋겠어.
주먹질만 한다고 능사가 아니야.
수감자.
발길질도 섞어야지.
17-3. Nice.
불쌍하게 울부짖는.
그렇지. 평범할 거라도 생긴 거야?
덕분이다, 난. 슬슬 지루하니까 빨리 끝나버리는 게 좋겠어.
Anyway. Yeah.
흑숨.
Kill.
빈박질 준
끝내지. 끝내지.
Yeah, that's that. See? I wasn't losing. I just have absolutely shit luck. That was a tough opponent. We should move before they come back to their senses.
수치스러운 소리를
Painful thing to say. A soldier does not retreat before the enemy when victory is in sight. You say the military drill for a better time? Ishmael is right. That's not something we can beat easily. We'll fall back.
철수하겠습니다.
Otis reluctantly backed down. Declared, do you know what Kromer meant by that familiar spot? That's, well... Declared shook. He was seemingly overwhelmed with dread. I could also see a teeth-grinding anger in him that surpassed his fear. Looking at him, a thought blossomed in my mind. You need to talk, Sinclair. Tell us what you know, and you'll prevent half of the deaths we might suffer.
전에 성공률도
Also raise the likelihood of our success. I'm looking forward to hearing something useful. Otis just cuts in like, yeah, absolutely. Great idea, manager. Absolutely. Otis is probably, like, the most consistent comedy in this game. I've been doing the right thing as the manager. Sinclair shook his head upon hearing my words, breathed in, and finally opened his mouth after some stroke.
크로머는 분명
Did
그곳에
I
있을 거예요.
just say what I think I just said? Anyway. My house, that's where Kromer must be, lying in my bed. Oh, Sarah.
너
I want
그 자식이랑 아는 사이였냐?
who wouldn't? Okay. So, here, I don't need you to hear me the fuck out, but hear me the fuck out. Who wouldn't want Otis? For one of three reasons. First of all, someone who would immediately defer to what you have to say and respect your opinion at all times. Already a great start. Otis herself being conventionally attractive. Nice bonus. The fact that she has a gunblade, and that gunblade will be used at your discretion at literally any time. Who wouldn't want Otis back? I mean, she does have the backslash skill. Okay, anyway. So my head is still pounding thanks to her shrill laugh. Met her at school. Oh boy, she's a friend of yours? Whatever's going on, I'm sure you'll help you can talk it out. Rhodian, please.
친구 아니에요.
She's not my friend. Kromer killed my family. Just that silence. Ah, I think I spoke a bit too soon.
미안해.
My bad. You don't just say my bad to that, Rodian. Prosthetic head hanging from a tree slowly turned to face us. Lights and sparks occasionally flickered within. Sinclair, why did you return?
싱클레어?
Sinclair, are those your neighbors? Rodian asked, looking at the dismembered prosthetic. Hey, Sinclair, do you recognize the bodies in the water?
그런 것 같아.
Looks like they were. Really hope that isn't the case, though. Sinclair replied, watching the grim look on his face as their bare wires sparked and short-circuited. The robotic head soon stopped moving, only emitting discordant things. Then a song begins to fill the air. Silent night. All the heads hung from the trees are singing the same song. Arrow leaking through the vocal units of so many lifeless heads lands on the flames below. Holy night. Nearer than ever now, prosthetic body parts are heresy to them. But it's been quite a while since prostheses were first introduced to the city. If you will still find them to be foreign and alienating. Our town was called the holy site of Nest K's prosthetic industry. The residents work in manufacturing high-end prosthesis components. I've been keeping an eye on our town for a long time. So what's your family? Yeah, my father was an owner of a fledgling prosthetics company too. Is that why? No. I see, it could attributing it to a high-flown cause of any kind is giving them too much credit. They're just lunatics, consumed by madness and violence, Ishmael asserted to him. All the while staring at the Christmas trees decorated with his neighbors, Sinclair turned to me. Manager, I have a question if it's alright with you. What is it? Well, how does it feel? Feel? Yeah. That's to have a prosthetic replacement for your head. Still taken aback since I've never had anyone ask that kind of question before. Well, Sinclair, it absolutely fucking sucked. I can't eat, I can't talk, I don't think I can even blink. The issue is that there's no way to know how I might have felt before I got a clock for a head. True. That's... Oh, it's, I'm not gonna argue with you or anything. Probably rude of me, I apologize. No need, it's alright. Since we're a billion times ruder than me through daily interactions anyway. Only clock face. Go, like, get me another kebab, or I'm gonna bash your skull in, Heath would probably. Really can't answer that. I don't remember a single thing about my life before this clock. Let's see. I always wonder what it feels like when there's something sitting where your head should be. So it's no different from wearing a hat or a watch. I couldn't picture it well, no matter how I approached it. No, only the survivor thinks of that. Your procedure seemed terrifying at such a young age. You don't have to feel guilty about that. That's not it. It's nothing like that. Not as innocent as you might think, Dante. Sinclair? I'm gripping my mic. Sinclair. You are perhaps the most innocent. I am not kidding. You literally are basically a white bird who can't fly. What do you mean? Sinclair quietly hung his head. Like, I know why. Because he feels like guilt, survivor's guilt and something, and like guilt for collaborating with Kromer and showing her the thing. Like, really? I racked my brains for an appropriate reply, but no suitable words of comfort came up. And the unpleasant sounds of sparks and flames filled the street.
그림자가 그들을 덮었습니다.
Anyway.
청소부가 다녀가고 날이 밝으면 죽은 자의 흔적을 찾으려는 자들이 와도 아무것도 알 수 없을 것입니다.
Recommended level 25 as if.
팔 배터리 교체 했었나?
Stupid Inquisitors, behold my power counter. An absolute gluttony resonance too, because why not? Yi-san, you're a failure and nobody loves you. Anyway, I'll gut you with a cursed engraved blade. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah. Kind of. It's one rupture count. That's skill in the game, anyway. Got them.
숨통 끊기.
정의적 하나만큼은 수감자가 되어도 훌륭하긴 하군. 이제 그 도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만 고치면 딱 좋겠어. 4번 수감자.
Yep,
빈박질 침.
as written.
그래.
아직
딱
죽지.
반쯤
As written, but again.
3조 2항에 맞게 그게 체격이지.
Curse writ butcher blade. Yo.
끝내지.
그래, 그렇게 시원하게
불쌍하게 울부짖는 거.
보는 맛이
뭐?
나군요. 일처럼 빠르게 하는 편이 덜 답답한 법이지.
그대로 멈춰라.
Get him again, Ryoshu. Kill.
숨통 끊기.
Recycled coin.
가치.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가.
끝내지. 가치 없군. 죽어.
할만하네. 어제 톱날을
Playing as Kromer in Mirror Dungeon?
골치 아픈 것.
Was?
거기 조각이
What do you mean was? Did you lose or something?
나쁘지 않은 성과.
시동 걸어볼까?
Or was it just a while ago?
끝내지.
Almost. Yeah. That makes sense. And Corp Faust is not one of the best IDs in the world.
생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐군. 야음을 틈타.
It rolls slow as fuck, as you know. The skill 2 is okay, and the skill 1 is about 2 coin power under the norm these days, or maybe 3. But the skill 3 is just abysmal. Like bodies pile up like a landfill in the corner of the town. I can see that some of them are still conscious, letting out pain moans. Oh, actual Kromer. Oh, so you're using like actual Kromer. I see. I see. No, that makes more sense. It makes even more sense somehow, because at least N Faust has an evade. Any ID can win as long as it has an evade, but actual Kromer, yeah. Because there's paid no heed. They shamelessly jam nails through each of their victims' chests over and over, executing their pure intent. Barely pierced their heart, yet its pulse still remains in their body. Must be patched with steel. Even the core of their humanity has been tainted by heresy. How filthy, a disgrace to flesh and bone. The visitor began carefully pouring a bottle of liquid over the prosthetic person in what looked like a solemn ritual. A pungent smell is most certainly oil. Vibe the oil of humanity, yet heretical soma. Ye heretical soma. We have to return to the earth, find solace in scattering into the smoke. The match is then thrown on the pile, letting rise a huge flame. Sound of sparks flying about, the air is soon filled with an acrid smell. Not quite like the smell of burning flesh. The spreading fire finally brings crackling glimmer in those prosthetic bodies of permanent darkness. Looking for our idea of purification, I'd rather say unclean. Nigel and Hammer has always been devoted to scrutinizing the idea of humanity. Some criticize prosthetic use and believe that pain is a necessary component of the human experience. However, never escalate to the extent of direct action that we're witnessing now.
아까부터 들었던
Yeah, so you know so much about N-Corp. I was once employed by N-Corp. Well, you used to work with those people? Never worked with those specific individuals, but in terms of affiliation, you can say that I did. Really good. This might be the first time I heard Marcel actively talk about himself. Really account anything related to him. Perhaps he felt it wasn't necessary to speak at all. Phil said earlier, you're one of those freaky weapons then? They are obligated to elaborate. Hell, why didn't you explain what makes you different? Well, why don't you explain what makes you different from those nutters, then? Listen, mate, as much as I like to call our daft manager Clockface, they deserve by any means to be on the sacred chopping block. Those boys talk way about purifying and all that, but I see it's just a bunch of loose and excuse to kill, eh? You up then, are you like those screw-loose bucketheads? Screw-loose bucketheads? Screw-loose wallop? There's a time when I thought about such things, but I did not come to a conclusion. A damn conclusion now. Are you gonna up and butcher all the townsfolk? Your manager just said so? Unless I get the answer, that does not aid us in handling our work. Thanks, Ricardo.
도움을 주진 않는다.
Well, that should be much easier.
사원은 명령에
Employee must follow their
따르는
employer's
것이
orders.
규칙이다.
Terms for Gilead is presented states as such. As your orders to do such thing, I will do it. I may provide my input if I'm told that it's necessary, but I do not have a habit of rambling my thoughts when prompted. Pardon? Are you around the twist? You got a chunk of metal for your brain to get folks here? I am 60% protein, 60% water, 7% mineral, and so forth. Clearly different in terms of composition. Moreover, unnecessary heavy metal does not compromise any portion of my body. I am clearly built different. That is another difference. Equal space controlled with frustration. Well, you know what to do. Still was already an enigma, and he only felt ever more distant after this conversation. Now that you mention it, there's something I've been wondering. Been wondering on whether Manager Dante should be seen as human. What do you mean? If, when dear Dante is speaking, it's actually the clock and not the person who knows Dante behind those words. That's how you're being led by an actual clock? Agree, you're reaching uncharted levels of idiocy with your theory. Can't be bothered to refute them. I don't understand. I do like Dante with their clock-headedness. Mostly same. Why don't you just give up finding your own head and stick with that one? It's probably not going to be the case. What if Dante's real head turned out to be super evil or something? Well, there's only one of us who know about our manager Bud's past. Her eyes naturally fell on fast. Confidential information. Its access restricted only to the highest security level. Feeling I won't be able to read it for myself. It's only natural. No idea who or what I originally was. I had nothing at my disposal if you'd call this like a hard accusation. He's right, and I really am just a clock. When I asked Faust, there's no telling she'll give me a true answer, real answer. I won't be able to discern the truth in such a thing either. Some chance the real Dante is hidden away somewhere on some advanced imitation train to believe I have free will. In any case, sitting here ruining won't get me anywhere. Who knows, maybe I'm at this thing on the wall when I find my real head. You know, give me a chastising there for even suggesting something like that, but he had no choice other than to shrug. Well, it is true. Might hang his clock head on the wall.
이 기회에 평소 지휘 실력을 확인해 보죠.
Alright. Power counter. And that's unopposed, so just gut. God. Die.
전투 감각 하나만큼은
As written, first writ butcher blade.
이제 그 도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만 고치면 딱 좋겠어. 원수감.
불쌍하게 울부짖는.
그래. 그렇게 시원하게 처리해. 그런 맛이
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가.
마르게 하는 편이 덜 답답한 법이지.
I'm gonna do like 1, 2, maybe 3 more fights after this. And then, I'll be honest. I think my level of commentary speaks enough. But, yeah.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 조.
Well, 316.
활 배터리 교체.
Sure will be a fight. Probably.
자,
Okay, what should we do now? If we move quietly, maybe might be able to pass by the other Inquisitors unnoticed. I'll say, I'd like to apologize in advance. You know, I'm not as experienced in fighting like the others. I like jabbing me in the heart over and over for that. Will you bear that for me? He was trembling so badly that it'd be pitiful for anyone to witness. Ellie was desperately trying to suppress his fear. The first time Sinclair's died, when we bit the dust, I made sure to bring him back. Today, he's newly asking for my understanding. I'd like to turn to confront them directly, even if it means he'll die again and again. Quite unlike the freight of usual battle invokes. He's holding the kind of fear that comes with a certain courage. In that case, scared, Sinclair? Sinclair suddenly turned around and gave me a startled look. Did I say something weird? I was just reminding a friend who had asked me the same question. Sinclair opened his mouth in a brief pause, his voice cracked. So I haven't read Sinclair's source book myself, but I do know about, like, one of the I think it was, like, I don't know if I'm mistaking it for another book, but I believe that book, Sinclair, or, like, the equivalent of Sinclair, tried to, like, think of, like, the most beautiful woman, and Its end result was just Demian. I'm just gonna say Demian. It was just Demian. So literally anything Demian has ever said will probably make Sinclair go, "Oh my god, that's a Demian reference." Because the source book is. Like Heathcliff said, whether kid or not, you would have been the same person regardless, Dante. Same could be said for my family. Thanks, Sinclair. Nothing. Can't have you be too thankful when I'm about to make me sour by throwing my life away. Then I realized I forgot to ask what he said in response to the same question his friend had. They had already charged into the fray. Get him! Get him!
이 안정감 있고 부드럽게 잡히는
winrate.
최상이군. 이런 푹신한 날에 안 풀리는 일.
winrate. However, power counter. Yeah, that works. Dang it. Rolled tails. Well, at least one of them won. Alright. Blink step, blink step. Perforating kill. Rupturing talisman, get him. Unopposed, hell yeah. And then a Curse Rip Butcher Blade, just because. Get him, Otis. Get him, Otis. Get him, Otis. Yeah. No matter what, skill 3 is just a kill. Oh, well, they were staggered. That's just a little bit much at that point. Anyway. It's a lot of death, I think. Ow. That's an unopposed first writ. This bodes well. Oh, that's, oh, never mind. Hell yeah. Get him, Otis. Get him, Otis. 29. Hog. Anyway, that's a stagger, and then... Yeah. Alright, sick. I think a couple. Yeah, just a couple more.
그림자가 그들을 덮었습니다. 청소부가
Yeah, I'll do
밝으면
317 and then 318, and then I'm gonna probably pass the fuck out. Sinclair's home was the largest mansion in the neighborhood, standing at the innermost part of the town. This Canto really is just no nonsense. One could see from a distance that a huge flame was engulfing the estate. Then again, we kind of did have all the nonsense of the K-Corp checkpoint. I took a moment to try and imagine what this town could have looked like during its peaceful times. Bringing to mind the times when the trees we saw in the town had lush, verdant leaves. Sinclair would have been during those times. I failed miserably because what the fuck? When everyone around him had died, I couldn't paint a clear picture of either happiness or despair because I'm not Sinclair, fun fact. Nonetheless, I can only hope that Sinclair could brace himself for the misfortune he'll soon have to face. This is awful to say the least. The courtyard that could have once been a vast, flourishing garden was now full of nails erected tall. Rounded prosthetic bodies were pierced by those towering nails, and the house was enveloped in a ferocious flame ready to consume everything around it. Everyone's attention was drawn to the prostheses. Sinclair's eyes drifted to a corner of the yard. Graves, they're dug up? Following his gaze, I can see 3 graves that were violated. The expression alone was enough for me and all the other sinners to guess who it was for. Execute the dead. This is some sort of a devil's work. Father, mother, and sister. The family he'd mentioned, that's where they should be resting. Sinclair, Kromer really said, like, I'm going to dig up your parents and execute them on a cross because they didn't give me permission. Anyway, on uniform, straight ahead. That whistling is not the iconic whistle. I mean, it's too funny when you think about it. Someone walks out of the burning household, and it's just the Kromer silhouette. The laugh was simply sinister in every way imaginable. I put so much effort into burying bodies can't even rot, am I right? Oh man. Anyway, I'm sure you'll find them around somewhere if you look hard enough. I do remember nailing those 3. You're a good boy, and I might just tell you where they are. Well, Sinclair, you've grown a spine coming all the way up here. Enough to look at a few dead bodies too, right? Why, just why all this? Sinclair couldn't even speak properly. Where did the 4 team get off to? They gotta turn up at some this point. Ah, Sinclair's got some buddies. Maybe other filthy ratlets that snuck in here? Okay, watch closely, I'll turn on the lights, open your eyes wide. Ta-da! And Effie's... yeah. Effie was barely breathing. His limbs had been cut away, and deformed prosthetics were crudely lodged in their place. This is notable because, slight spoilers, they can be brought back as long as their head is intact, and while their head is bleeding ferociously, it doesn't look like it's too damaged. It's mostly the limbs. Anyway, he's too mutilated to even speak a single word. His current state it'd take around 2 days for him to completely die. Hole piercing through him will only amplify his suffering. Then, manager, I happen to know a method to end a life with as little pain as possible. One that saw many uses, in fact. I ask you to give me the order. Looked to both Gregor and Ishmael. They gave back to me, and if the acknowledgement, dropped their heads low and bit their lips. Understood what that meant. Rest in peace. Our mouth is closed, brushed against the wind. Then silence. And it's then broken by Kromer's roaring laughter. Same time, I hear something else break. It's hilarious to watch you all care for each other and you all meet the same fate. Anyway, yeah, Otis definitely ensured that they couldn't be brought back. Knowing how to end a life with as little suffering as possible. Yeah. Takes you back, doesn't it, Sinclair? Face back then was real priceless. Kromer, you have to die. Yeah, I think that's the right way. You'll die by mine. He's interrupted by the sound of a nail dragging across the floor. It's Guido. Thought he'd felled him with our best, but not a scratch was on his body now. As all his injuries healed in that short time. He walked towards us in perfect condition to critique the sinners. They're speechless, all that came out from their hearts with a deep groan of contempt. Guido, why couldn't you take out the others? My ineptitude, oh one who grips my incompetence allowed them to escape. Stay alert, they never know what's hidden under those curled steel craniums. I shall keep your word at heart, oh one who grips. When the reunion is over, I'll be heading back. Kromer turns around and walks in the burning mansion. Kromer! This isn't an anime, Sinclair. Calm down. Back here. I swear, I'll grab you with my hand and nope, Sinclair. I've been the other way around. Long smirk dances across Kromer's entire face. It's hard to tell if it's violent blaze and Kromer's fights that is consuming the other. And then, I am the one who knocks. You can't tell me that this scene isn't just, I am the one who knocks. You think of me as the one who gets gripped? No, I am the one who gripped. Anyway.
장부에 적힌 놈들은 볼 때마다 기가 막히는 우리 중지가 엄지처럼 엄격한
about right.
이해할 수 없는 걸 요구하는 것
got
같은데 말이지.
숨통 끊기.
이 안정감 있고 부드럽게 잡히는 푹신.
Absolute resonance, why not?
이런 푹신한 날에
Otis, you had one job. One
그렇게
job
처리하니 보는 맛이 나는
to get your sanity up,
일 처리는 빠르게 하는 편이 덜 답답한
and
거지.
you failed miserably. Anyway, this is the whistle turn, so let it rip,
흑수모
fellas.
빈박질 중
전투감도
가치
가는
없군.
만큼
죽어
수감보다 훌륭한
가치 없군. 죽어
이제 그 도통 알아들을 수 없는 말투만 고치면 딱 좋겠어. 사본수가 그간의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없진 않았군요, 딴테.
Alright, Otis, I told you to get your sanity up. Now do so.
빈박질 중
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여버렸고 13조 이항에 맞추려면 그게 체격이지.
Yeah, if I had Debian Rhodium, this would be such a good thing, but I don't, so I have to actually use Talisman Sinclair as Talisman Sinclair,
고기 조각이 되어
which clearly is not
않은 성과입니다.
optimal.
시동 걸어볼까?
Anyway, Otis crushed their skull. Thanks.
그림자 속으로 가라앉게.
가치 없군. 가치 없군. 죽어
조해졌군.
Yeah.
시시게.
얼간이들이
Oh, well, whistle turn. Alright.
대체로 저럴 때는 이유가 있는 법입니다. 이유를 잡아 족쳐보시죠.
Does my power counter have more of a chance? Probably. Oh.
그대로.
Yeah.
숨통 끊기
Yeah, Oh, I wasn't at the speed conditional? You invent it? Man. Does that make sense? And E-Song, the pre-haste is faster than them.
의 공격이었으니 이것까지 당신 탓을 할 순 없겠군요. 설마 알고 맞게 하진 않았을 텐데.
Yeah, that works, and then that works, and then that works.
흑수모 빈박질 준비
Get him.
숨통 끊기
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가.
아직 죽지 마라
He's song, but he tries to be cool. Anyway,
그렇지.
rupture count neutral when. Got 6 talisman. Get him, Sinclair.
가라앉고 한 놈.
Get killed.
끝내기
Doesn't matter.
뇌가 너무 커.
점검할 거라도 생긴 거야?
저기 벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
태어내리.
Anyway,
가치 없군 죽어라 좋아 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 돼
and the last one. Recommend level 27. Yeah, I'm fine.
마음을 틈타.
I'll win. I have the 2 Haste Shield Pack IDs. Sinclair, this is still not an anime. Hey, wait. They're left forth to chase Kromer before anyone can stop. However, he's blocked by the Iranian and corporate servitors. Spawns, he swings the weapon with the tremendous force he never thought he could exert, rushing the head of the one who grabbed him. With their glass to the ground before even a gasp could escape their mouth. In order to keep to the back of our group, this is the first time I saw him charge in unprompted like that. But he'll be dawdling in the back for him if you could do that. I know that with Clara that ended your lives. Deadly witnessed torn brain tissue spilled through the cracks in your skulls. Yet here you heretics are before me on your feet. Want to complain about miraculous recoveries. He examines me close with his piercing glare. Really nods that his observation gave him the knowledge he needed. You there, the one possessing the head of a heretic. Must see the false shepherd enticing the certain herd into blasphemy. He nudged his chin at the nailed corpses in the courtyard. The grave sin of entering the sight of hallowed rites of their unclean bodies. Thus they have been punished with the same penalties heretics receive. The subjective humiliation of bodily mechanical intrusion being installed against their will. You are different. Worshipping a heretic is less severe than indulging in heresy itself. Therefore, as long as you're willing to repent and cleanse your minds of sin, we, the Hammer, are willing to demonstrate forgiveness. Implore you, pitiful, pitiable, foolish sinners, lay us astray by temptation. Take up the allure of that false miracle and kneel before me. Here's came to a standstill. No one seemed to be willing to speak first. Where do I spell something all along? Who would have thought that? I was trying to get a joke to lighten the mood a little bit and went laugh. Hey, that man, he just insulted you. He doesn't even see you as a human being. You guys call me Clockfix all the time, too. Not at all. Besides, I haven't used that nickname. No, grunted. You can throw some fancy words around me enough to say it as, eh? This is a fate plate. You don't want to all shake it off. Seem to me your human brain's just as effective. Go off, Heathcliff. You're given ample opportunity. No there for those who are hung and nailed after all. I am a hammer, a tool for the one who grips, tasked with its great mission of piercing the false flesh of heretics. Bind me to a nail and lay thee furthest from soil. Ye who shan't repent. When are you gonna finish your stupidly long taunt? Not granted rest beneath the earth. Just like, hurry up, man. I don't want to hear it, so just like, can we like have the skip cutscene button? Anyway. Power counter. And dimensional rift because I need sanity. Give me sanity or I retire. Really? Really? I'm going to gut you with a curse-engraved blade. And then I'm going to Strider, I suppose. Get out! Cycled coin. Nice whistles, unfortunately, win. Did I just lose coin?
교단의 전투 경험이 쓸모가 없진 않았군요. 단 적합한 조치였습니다.
Spirit of Inquisition somehow wins that, I suppose. Get him, Sinclair. Get him.
딱 반쯤 죽여버렸고. 13조 2항에 맞추려면 그게
Unopposed attacks. Let's go. Literally the whole point of Osis' kit. Alright. I'll gut you. Link step spam, I suppose. Then yeah, that works. Recycled coin, go. Yeah. Nice guard, anyway. Wow. Nice going, Sinclair, I say. Not being in the slightest. Anyway. You know, hello. Is that a curse writ Butcher Blade on an unopposed attack? Fuck yeah. Alright, you know, you were here for a couple of turns, and by that I mean literally one, but your time is over. Farewell. You are not surviving this. Well, you are, but like, you're not being unstaggered. Alright. Yep. I will gut you with a cursed engraved blade.
시동 걸어볼까?
끝내지. 아직 죽지 마라. 아직 죽지 마라.
You are already dead. Just don't know it yet.
숨통 끊기.
Stop.
좋아. 이번엔 제대로 들어간 거야.
Claire, go. Flicked Talisman. Damage. Go. Kill. Alright, Guido is dead. Except not really, but you know. Ground shook as Guido finally fell. Definitely. Couldn't help but wonder if he really did him in, yet you were too exhausted to bother and take his helmet off to check his breathing. He was repeatedly jabbing his spear into a dead Inquisitor, with mangled beyond recognition, his blood and organs spilling all over the floor. And Claire, calm down. Hear about anything other than the body is set out to destroy, and occasional pants of rage and tearful gas were all that came out of his mouth. Oh, kill them all. He saw me was the right thing to do, but no one dared to step in. Evidently, he was too blinded by ire to listen to us. Oh, most simple to bring him back to senses. At that, Don Quixote suddenly jumped Sinclair and pinned him to the ground, and then started laying into his face. Yeah, just beat them the fuck up. One fist thrown after the other. Oh, should we do something? It would be a couple of calves tussling isn't worth entertaining. A cloud of dust rose from his ruthless beating. For a while, Don Quixote cut her onslaught. Pray tell, how dost thou feel now? What my rash action? Often I find myself overcome by fervor, rampaging much the same as a riderless horse. Such once my old friends helped me come to myself by beating me senseless. This is something I think is off, like, blood fiends go on rampages, you know, and I think it's just nice to see that the culture has evolved to just beat them the fuck up and make them calm down. The times the only remedy to the fever that had overtaken me. Ah, so in that sense, we're supposed to be a good friend of yours too, right? Why? This face is just Sinclair. You just blinked down from Sinclair's bruised eyes. I'll get her for this. My home and skewer that bitch. I'll skewer her with a stake and then... The son was overrun with pain, sobbing. While sniffling, rather. Sinclair seemed to finally calm down as he put a hand to his face and started muttering. I lost everything overnight. Back then, we're taking their Nagel and Hammer name. Parade their Nagel and Hammer name around. You didn't see large groups like that in the open, but at some point, one of those hammers started showing up in town one by one, and... It's okay, kiddo. You need to push yourself. I just gently pat him on the back. You'll think that sometimes the bad dream of having trouble waking up comes every morning before I open my eyes. Maybe this time I'll wake up and see my familiar ceiling. Just maybe. After that, he broke into tears. Makes sense to wait for him to settle down. Losing your home is a very painful experience, admittedly. Alright. How much lunacy? I can do a 10 pull though if I... Wait, actually I should save for the upcoming Middle Sinclair, honestly. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today, then. This sure was our Limbus company, or insert credits. I don't know. I'm just exhausted, man. But yeah, that was a good, like, half of Canto 3, so good enough stream. I'm gonna crash and burn, and I'll see you tomorrow. No, that's I'm dying, man. I don't know what this. I'm just gonna hit the stop stream button.